Where's the remote for this? What? Well, Tony and Nick have both tagged me to do a three-way, so I thought I'd pack a few bits. Gonna need some supplies, isn't I? Huh? What do you mean that's not what it means? Word to you, mother. My name's Steve, this channel is Frags to Riches, and thanks for tuning in. As always, I love you for doing so. Now, I've been tagged by two people. I've been tagged by Tony at the channel Fragdicted and Nick at the channel Talk and Review, so I'll link them below, so check those channels out, they're great channels. And I'll do my tags later on in the video, so stay tuned for those. Now, after an awkward conversation with the wife, she explained that the 3 for 3 actually means I've got to pick 3 notes and 3 fragrances for each of those notes that kind of complement them and lead with those notes and do the notes justice, basically. So 3 of my favourite notes and 3 of my favourite fragrances for each one of those notes. Now, this wasn't easy. The first 2 notes I decided to pick were quite easy, and the third note I was a bit of a toss-up. So I've gone for Mandarin, I've gone for vanilla, and the last one I was thinking about going for sandalwood because when it comes to kind of woody fragrances, I like my woody notes to be that sort of slightly creaminess that you often get with sandalwood. But quite often sandalwood fragrances sandalwood isn't like the lead or most prominent note, it's kind of in the background, so it's kind of not always easy to kind of pick a fragrance for those reasons. But I do like my woods slightly creamy, so that's why I was going to go for sandalwood. But in the end, I decided to go for tobacco. So those are my notes, so let's see which fragrances I've picked. First, let me discuss Aqua Amara. It had to be included in the Mandarin section of this video because it's a hella Mandarin fragrance. So I enjoy Aqua Amara. It is a fragrance that I have to use with caution though, because on my skin this is an absolute fucking weapon. I regularly will only do 1 spray of this, 2 max. Because it's, a lot of people say it's kind of got this like eggy accord, which I don't kind of get, but I really enjoy the Mandarin, but the saltiness kind of does give it this kind of a bit of a twang to it. So if I go too heavy, this performs so well and projects so strongly. I went a bit too heavy once and the wife wasn't happy, I kind of was choking her out. So yeah, I regularly do 1 or 2 fragrances and I have to pick when I wear this fragrance. But if I wear this on a day to the beach or a nice sunny day, like a barbecue or something like that, this works really well. So this have to pick and choose when to wear it and have to wear it with caution, but Aqua Amara had to be included in the Mandarin section. Next up is a fragrance that I included in my top 10 fragrances for life. It doesn't have great performance, but I just love the smell of this. It has to be Clinique's Happy for Men. It is just a lovely, I just love it. I've said it before and I'll say it again, every time I smell it, it makes me smile, so the name Happy is certainly apt. It's just this lovely, fresh, juicy, yummy kind of, I love it. Love this fragrance, had to be included. Next up is a fragrance that's going to be no surprise to anybody. It is Mercedes-Benz Cologne. Now this is basically a clone of Dior Homme Cologne. It is just really nice. Really enjoy this. This was love at first sniff. It was a blind buy. So glad I did because it's basically been discontinued and it's now really hard to get hold of and really expensive. And I've got a massive bottle of this, so I'm really chuffed. Love the Mandarin in this. And it kind of dries down to this lovely sort of creamy, citrusy, fresh yumminess. So I really enjoy this fragrance, had to include it in the list. Okay, moving on to vanilla. Vanilla now. So again, a fragrance that was in my top 10 fragrances for life. Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. I love this fragrance. It was love at first sniff for me. When I first smelt this, I would have bet my bollocks to a barn dance that it contains tobacco, but it doesn't. I still get this tobacco accord, but you get this lovely creaminess from the vanilla with the coffee that's in here as well. I could have included this in the Mandarin section. I did think about it just to be slightly controversial because Mandarin is in there and I do detect it, but not many people do. But I thought I'd put it where it probably is more apt, and it is in the vanilla section. Love this fragrance. Next up is another great winter fragrance. It is Armani's Strong With You. This performs so well on my skin. This is just really yummy. I love the cinnamon with this and the vanilla. It comes across as a great winter fragrance that's just really yummy. And for the this performs so well on my skin. For the first 6 hours, this is really enjoyable. After that, towards the end of the fragrance life, it does start to get a bit kind of a bit choky. I don't know what happens towards the end of it, but I really enjoy this fragrance, and as you can see, I've actually used quite a bit of it. Really enjoy Armani's Stronger With You. Next up is a fragrance that I've not featured on my YouTube channel before, but I plan to do a video because I love it, and it's one of my best fragrances that I picked up sort of this year probably, and more recently. It is Alexandria Fragrance's Royal Equestrian. Now, this is a clone of Parfums de Marly's Leighton, but this, oh man, I love this. It smells so good. When I first smelt it, I thought, damn, that smells good. But then once I started wearing it, I really started to appreciate how good this fragrance is. This could be my signature scent without a doubt. I just love it. I love the fact that it's kind of different, a bit unique, but it's not too weird or wonderful, so you'll still get compliments. It's still kind of got some mass appeal, and I got a compliment a couple of weeks ago from my colleague at work wearing this. It is just yummy, sexy, versatileness. So we're moving into the tobacco section, and let's stick with Alexandria fragrances because I'm going to go for Hafez 1984. This is one of their own creations, and some people say it smells like other things, but yeah, by all accounts, this is an original creation. And this is just so yummy. It's such a great winter fragrance. I wasn't sure how this would kind of be received because it's quite full on and rich and almost boozy, which kind of turns some people off. But I kind of wore this once, went to our local shop just to pick up a few bits and bobs, and the girl behind the counter kind of asked me what I was wearing because she said I smelled fantastic. So yeah, hell of a compliment there. Next up is a fragrance that was introduced to me by Chris at the channel Fragmental, who I actually record a podcast with called The Scent Geeks, released every Monday, and you can find it all over the usual places where you find podcasts. So yeah, check that out. Anyway, he introduced me to Azzaro's Wanted by Night. Love this fragrance. This was, after I smelt it with him on his channel, I had to buy this, and I regret not getting a bigger bottle if I'm honest. This was my scent of the day for my work's Christmas party. I love this. It's just this sexy manliness, kind of tobacco, leather, and it's kind of got some sweet spice to it. It's just lovely. Love Wanted by Night. Last up, I thought about including CK1 Shock because it is a great cheapie, one of the best cheapies in my opinion, and it is a great tobacco fragrance. But I decided to go for Spice Bomb by Victor and Rolf. This is a fragrance that I just really enjoy. It's kind of a bit of a guilty pleasure. I prefer this to Spice Bomb Extreme. I think in many ways Spice Bomb Extreme is a better fragrance. It's fuller, it's richer, it's deeper, it has much better performance. But the sort of just the strength of it kind of strengthens the sweetness, and it comes across as a bit too much to me. It gets a bit too kind of synthetically sweet and over the top, where the lighter original Spice Bomb I just kind of find is much nicer on my skin. It's just a bit more subtle with the sweetness, and unfortunately the performance is not as good. But yeah, and it's just a lovely, yummy, spicy, sweet tobacco fragrance that I totally enjoy. So yeah, thought I'd include it in the list. So time to do my tags. Not gonna lie, up until about 10 seconds ago, didn't know who the fuck I was gonna tag because pretty much everybody's been tagged on this. So I don't think my buddy Nigel at 2 cents worth has been tagged. He might have been tagged, but he's certainly not done the video. So I'll at least jump in there as well because I would genuinely like to see what Nigel picks. He's got such a massive collection, and I know he's going to kind of give some example fragrances that nobody else is going to include in their list because he's great at finding those hidden gems. So yeah, going to tag Nigel at 2 cents worth. Also going to tag Joy Amin again. Not sure if he's going to watch this. I might have to kind of let him know. But again, massive collection. Be intrigued to know kind of what his favourite notes are and what his favourite fragrances are. And also going to tag Chris at the channel Casual Fragrances. Again, be interested to know what his favourite notes are. I know he's been going for a while, he's reviewed lots of fragrances, but I don't actually know kind of what his preferences are, so it kind of would be good. I know we both share the love of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. I think that's both our favourite Creeds, so yeah, be interesting to see what he picks. So thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing those people do the tag video, or probably not, is what is going to happen. Thanks again for watching, and if you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button, and I will see you for the next video. Take care, much love.